Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Garrett Willis.
And I'm Ellie Davis.
It's Friday, January 19th, and time for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
On today's show, we'll bring you Sydney Scholl sit down with Mr. Ginder to get us all caught up on his thoughts as we pass the halfway point of the school year.
You'll learn about Spanish teacher Senora Bailey's trip to Spain last year as part of the Lilly grant she received.
The fast-growing after-school gathering Dungeons & Dragons Club is profiled, and you will learn what they do and how you can get involved.
On this week's 2-Minute Drill, you'll meet our boys' basketball team.
And you'll see the first edition of the new Weekend Weather segment, Whether or Not, with Joe Swimiller.
We'll bring you all those stories and much, much more, so stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth. In what has become an annual tradition at HHS In Depth, we begin our first episode of the second semester where they sit down with Mr. Ginder to learn what his thoughts and expectations are for us as we come back from winter break. Here's reporter Sydney Scholl.
As always, Homestead students have been successful, and as we ease into the semester, Principal Mr. Ginder explains his appreciation for student effort and emphasizes teachers' understanding of each student.
We need to understand what it means to be a student. Your teachers give great effort every day to give you an opportunity to learn new things and different things, and I'm not sure all the time we as students buy into that. Your teachers understand that you value different classes depending on your interests and so forth differently. So they're expecting you to really fly in some areas and not fly in others.
Especially this late in the year, Mr. Ginder sees the potential in every student regardless of rough beginnings to their high school careers and is blown away by the improvement that comes with their hard work.
If we could have any story, any news story done on HHSID that I think would be solid would be a story about our students who, for the first year or two of their high school career, they were D and F students. And then something happened, something positive happened, and they turn it around and they become an A and B students and they discover that they've really got lots of gifts and talents. And we still have far too many students just kind of mailing it in, is the term I would use, getting D's and F's in situations where they're not D and F students.
Every student has their own interests as well as strengths and differences, but it is encouraged to make your high school experience unique and give your best effort no matter the course.
You've got to invest in yourself and take from your teachers and from your classes the things that are going to help you be successful after high school. That's what this is about. And your trip doesn't have to look like everybody else's. The classes you take don't have to look the same. But we're lying to ourselves if we think that student next to you who's getting A's and she's just nailing everything, if we think it's coming easy for her. It's not coming easy for her either.
As the year comes to a close, impress yourself and your peers by working harder than ever and making your 4 years in high school worth more than a report card. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Sydney Scholl.
You will see the second part of Sydney's interview with Mr. Ginder at the beginning of our show next week with a message to seniors and how Homestead did in its annual review by an outside organization.
Seniors, there are a very limited number of co-op spots available still this semester. If you are currently employed working at least 15 hours a week and are interested in participating in co-op, you must submit your application to Student Services by the end of the day today. Spots will be given on a first-come, first-served basis, so get your applications in as soon as possible.
Once again, Fridays are laptop restart days. As you are watching this video during 5th period today, please do a full restart of your laptop. Go ahead, do it now, I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. Many of the tech issues students report can be resolved by doing a full shutdown at the end of each school day before you leave Homestead.
Environmental Science Club is back and starting after school next Tuesday in room 206. Get out and join the club to see what's in store for the club activities this year. Everyone is welcome to attend.
Are you taking the SAT or ACT soon and want to increase your score? The SAT-ACT prep class will begin a new session on Tuesday, January 23rd for math and Wednesday, January 24th for verbal. Classes run for 6 weeks from 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening. Sign up for one or both sessions. You will receive the College Board SAT book with your registration. Sign-up forms can be found in Student Services or with Mr. Staley in room 517.
Last summer, Spanish teacher Senora Bailey received a Lilly Grant that allowed her to travel to Spain to learn more about the culture and language. Reporter Kaylee Behrens recently caught up with Senora Bailey to find out what she got to experience.
Last summer, Spanish teacher Senora Bailey got a Lilly Grant to travel to Spain with her son to immerse herself and her son in the language and the culture of Spain. To receive the Lilly Grant, she had to think of a valuable project and write out a proposal in order to receive this grant.
The Lilly Grant is a scholarship. It's money that's awarded to teachers, administrators, to sometimes people in the ministry. It's something where you receive the money and then you complete a project. For me, it was for me to go to Spain and take my son, and we spent the summer in Spain. It's actually my second Lilly Grant. My first Lilly Grant was to walk the Camino some years ago, which I did, and it was such a wonderful experience that when I became eligible to apply for another Lilly Grant, I had another idea, something that had been in my heart for a long time, which was to take my son to Spain and for us to spend time with my Spanish family that I lived with when I lived in Spain, and to see some of Spain together, and then to take pictures and video and return to the classroom with those materials.
Senora Bailey had a very valuable experience while she was overseas and traveled to many historical and famous sites throughout Spain.
My son and I flew to Barcelona, and I had rented an apartment, and we stayed for a month in Barcelona, 2 blocks from my Spanish family. And we lived there. We saw all of Barcelona. I took pictures, I took video, I interviewed people. We saw things in the area, things like Montserrat. We went to the beach. We also saw the Sagrada Familia. We also had some friends come and visit. Senior people came, and Jennifer Copeland came, and we spent time with them, seeing things around the city. And we also traveled to Madrid, we traveled to Segovia, we saw the castle in Segovia, the Alcázar, and we also spent a night in the Parador in León.
Senora Bailey thought that her experience in Spain has helped her in the classroom as she got refreshed in the language and got new images to use as she is teaching.
One of the things that I wanted to do when I was there was just become immersed in the language again. And just spending time with my Spanish family, and now I have 2 little nieces, and spending time with them and watching TV, living in the culture, traveling. It just, really, I hadn't been there for a little while, and so just linguistically, it was a really great experience just to be part of the language. Also to take new video, new digital pictures, and come back to the classroom with that. And then, to get renewed myself, it makes me excited about the language and my experiences, and I get to come back and share them with the kids.
Senora Bailey accomplished one of her dreams in taking her son to Spain and experiencing the language and culture of Spain together, and is grateful for the Lilly Grant to help her accomplish this goal. For HHS In-Depth, I'm Kaylee Behrens.
Softball players get a head start on the softball season by attending conditioning in open gyms scheduled for every Tuesday and Thursday in January from 3 to 4:30 p.m. on the deck above the main gym, and on Wednesday, January 17th, 24th, and 31st from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on the main gym floor. Freshmen are encouraged to attend these sessions and pick up a complete schedule.
YMCA winter intramural basketball packets are available in the discipline office. The deadline to turn in completed packets is today. League play will start on January 29th.
Fall sports participants, fall patches have arrived. If you have earned a patch, please stop by the athletic office to pick it up as soon as possible.
Cats need your help. Go out to Latin Club on Tuesday, January 23rd in room 604B to make kitty blankets for a local animal shelter and to celebrate Indiana Latin Week.
And now here's reporter Derek Hockemeyer with a story over our new fast-growing club taking place after school on Fridays here at Homestead, the Dungeons and Dragons Club.
Legend has it that there's a new club at Homestead High School, and that club is none other than Dungeons and Dragons. This club, started by a couple of friends, has recently grown to be very popular.
Okay, so the game is kind of a role-playing game. You basically you have your character, you roll a dice, and you see what happens.
If you're interested in living another world, being another person, it's very interesting seeing yourself in a different point of view and acting as if you were a different character.
Dungeons & Dragons made an appearance in the hit TV show Stranger Things, so I asked them if this club was in any way influenced by that.
No, actually, to be honest, I don't know really anything about Stranger Things.
I watched Stranger Things, both season 1 and 2, and they played a game of Dungeons & Dragons, and heard there's a club at school, and I came on to join.
The game itself is pretty complex, which is why it's broken down into different parts every week.
Today's meeting was really about creating our characters, kind of just telling people what D&D was. Next week we're going to be starting talking about how the gameplay actually works, the combat, how that all works.
This club is open to anybody, even those who have never played before.
If you know how to play, that's great. If you don't know, that's great too. We can always show you how to play. Come show up to the community room on Fridays.
If you want to come see or be a part of the action, come to the community rooms on Fridays, right after school. For HHS In Depth, I'm Derek Hockemeyer.
Get on to Young Progressives today in room 614 from 2:45 to 3:30 for a welcome back discussion. Everyone is welcome and snacks will be provided.
Juniors and seniors, Notorious Netters and Dirty Duckers packets are now available in student services. Each team only needs one packet. Notorious Netter teams are composed of 6 male players and 2 female coaches. Dirty Duckers teams are comprised of 6 female players and 2 male coaches. Only juniors and seniors are allowed to play, and everyone on your team must be within the same grade level. Notorious Netters will take place on Monday, February 12th at 6:30 p.m., and Dirty Duckers will be on Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. Completed packets must be stapled together and turned back into Mrs. Moss in room 723 by Friday, January 26th.
And now our new weatherman, Joe Sweinmiller, is at the weather station to bring us a look at his new weather segment, Weather or Not.
What's Gucci, Homestead? It's your boy J. Christopher Sweinmiller here, and this semester we got a new weather segment I'm bringing up. I'm cooking a little something good. It's called Weather or Not. Now, the weather. On Friday we will see mostly sunny skies with a high of 35 and a low of 27. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high of 39 and a low of 35. Sunday will bring some scattered showers into the mix with a high of 42 and a low of 40. Well, that's all the weather we had for this weekend because that's all the weather that's going to be there. Once again, I'm Joe Sweinmiller, and I'll see you next week, despite the fact that I can't see anything.
Garrett has made his way over to the set of the 2-minute drill. This week you'll learn all about our boys basketball team as they prepare for the huge game tonight at Northside.
Top of the morning to you, Homestead. I'm Garrett Willis, and it's time for the first 2-minute drill of 2018. With these frigid cold temperatures outside, we've begun our transition from football into one of the most entertaining sports available for our viewing pleasure. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about golf, but the sport with ankle breakers, posterizing dunks, and buzzer beaters, like we saw last Tuesday. Yes, I am talking about basketball. With Homestead being the most successful basketball school in the state of Indiana over the past 5 years, we have taken some pride in our Spartan hoops. So this week, I bring you a feature over your Spartan boys basketball team.
The past 4 years have been the glory years for Homestead basketball as players like Caleb Swanigan, Taj Curry, and Brandon Durnell have all been key to bringing Homestead amazing success. But each year, new faces arrive as role players from the previous year move into leadership roles, as players in this year's team recognize how they are improving this season.
We had a tough start, but we're getting better every day. We lost a couple close ones by like 2 or 3 points, but each game we're improving, and we're getting really good.
Well, I think from where we were at the beginning of the year, with the first game at Huntington North to where we were last night, I think that we've improved tremendously. Our kids play hard. We have great young men. They do what they're supposed to do on and off the court. And, I'm very proud of him.
A player who is not known around the school until this season is freshman Luke Goody, as he has hit 2 3-point buzzer beaters to tie the game and send each one into overtime, with his last coming in the Southside game. All of his teammates have felt his impact so far, as he has changed outcomes of 2 games up to this point.
Well, he hit 2 last-second threes that have won us the games, and so he's been just hitting a lot of clutch shots, and just fourth quarter in general, he's been stepping up and hitting big shots.
I feel like I've really contributed to the team by hitting those shots, but in all, I think our team really helps me with that. They give me confidence. We play well together. They help me get to that point where I have an opportunity to shoot a ball like that.
Well, I mean, for us to be successful, we have to hit the shot. You know, our strength is from the outside, and you know, we've got to make sure that we're trying to get an inside out. When we do and go inside out, we usually hit those shots.
While many view Homestead as the underdogs for this season in the SAC, the boys are not lacking in confidence, as they have set the bar high for themselves going into the end of the conference race and the postseason.
Just that we continue to get better each and every day and just win more games. We got to win the close ones, finish games out.
Goals going into sectionals is to win the SAC by just continuing to win conference games, and into the postseason, win sectionals, regionals, and then hopefully make a state run as far as possible.
While there are some players on the team who do not get the recognition on the court as much as the starting five, they still do not go unnoticed, as the bench mob has been described to be the most lit bench mob in Northeast Indiana, providing energy to the players on the court.
The bench mob is a very essential part of the game because without the bench mob, there's no energy, and we can bring that energy that the student section can bring, which if the student section comes, that's great, but sometimes at away games, we just got to bring that energy to the game that needs to bring forth. Best three-point celebration has to be Julian at bench mob. He kind of just goes crazy and just loses his mind.
Bench mob, I mean, great young men, and you know, that's what a team is all about, celebrating and cheering on your teammates.
I'd say probably Julian. Julian has the best three-point celebration. He's really into the game. And the bench mob, they just give the players a really fun time. We want to go out and perform and have them enjoy it just as much as we do.
The Spartans just got back to over 500 for the season, as tonight they take their undefeated conference record to Northside, looking for a second chance against the Legends and to get a step ahead in the conference race.
Both of your Spartan basketball teams are in action tonight, as they both will travel to take on the Northside Legends. The girls team will play at 6 o'clock with the boys game immediately to follow. This is a revenge game for the boys, as a win would give them sole possession of first place in the SAC. With this, Coach Johnson would also achieve his 300th career win. With this as well, the girls can clinch a share of the conference title with a win. They need your support out there tonight, so come in full force to make sure that you can help your Spartans achieve the sweep. Your quote of the week comes from Vince Scully, as he said, "As long as you live, keep smiling, because it brightens everybody's day." That'll do it for this week's edition of the 2-Minute Drill. I'm Garrett Willis. Enjoy your weekend. Get out to Northside tonight at 6 o'clock, and I'll see you right back here next Friday. Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Garrett Willis.
And I'm Ellie Davis. Thank you for watching today.
And now we're here with this week's Pictures of the Week.
To have your photo in the running for Picture of the Week, just email us a high-resolution photo in landscape mode with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point, 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next Friday.